what's up? I'm Cuddy Dre, one half of the BashBros production songwriting duo. I'm the production, beat making, engineering half of that team. Oh man, how long have I taken to get to where I'm at? You're talking 18, 19 years now. I've been at this. I first picked up a drum machine when I was 13, and that first day, since then I've never stopped, and I'm north of 30 at this point. So do the math. My top 3 biggest idols as producers. You gotta make me choose only 3, huh? That's crazy. A lot of that depends on the mood I'm in that day, because there's different producers I love for different reasons that I listen to put myself in different moods or because I'm in a different mood. But since you're making me just pick 3 right now, the first one I think is gonna be obvious, Dr. Dre. The second one has got to be DJ Premier, and the third one has got to be Roger Troutman. And all 3 of them, because they didn't take what other people were doing and just do something with that. They actually created an entirely new sound that everybody else after that spent years trying to figure out how to do it. Those are the dudes I look up to the most. So those got to be my 3, pretty sure. My strongest asset as a producer, I think that would be that I'm not locked into one sound. That what I'm all about is figuring out what the song is about and bringing what that song needs to sound like to life, and not kind of being stuck with it sounding like a certain thing or sounding like me. And I think I'm very good at hearing somebody's raw idea and taking that as a seed and actually growing that into the full plant or whatever you want to call it. So I think that would be my strongest attribute. What makes me different from everybody else? I don't think that's one thing I could necessarily say, but I think part of what makes me different from not everybody else, but from the majority of people that are trying to make it and get in as producers is the work I put into it. I'm always willing to take that extra 2 hours to take a song from really good to perfect. And that little bit of extra work makes a huge difference. And I really study my craft and make sure that things are right before I put them out there. So I think that's a big thing that separates me from other producers. I'd say my very biggest pet peeve working with an artist or a writer or a demo singer is them not coming to the studio prepared, and them thinking that the studio is the time to prepare themselves, when the time to prepare themselves was when they knew we were gonna go to the studio. They should have started then, because by the time you get to the studio, if you're wasting my time, I start getting irritated. So I love when a singer, writer, demo singer, whatever it is, comes in knowing what they want to do, ready to do it, and if we need to make our little tweaks from there, it's no problem at that point. Horror stories. Well, yes, I do have lots of them because I made my living as a recording engineer in a tiny little studio for years and years. And yes, I have many horror stories, and just weird stories and things that should have never happened. But I'd say one of the more surprising introductions to the game, this was back in the early 2000s when gangster rap was kind of on top and that's what everybody was doing. I had an artist come in, gets in the mic booth, and all of a sudden I start hearing click, 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 click along to the beat while I'm recording. And I look up at the window and he's got his gun out of his pants and he's clicking it towards me through the mic booth window, recording it into the mic. And I stopped and had to tell him, like, dude, I can just sample that sound for you. You don't actually have to bring your gun in here and start pounding it in the studio. And he actually had a really cool reaction. He was like, oh, really? You can do that? I had no idea. Cool, let me put my gun away. And it was actually a really peaceful conversation. It went pretty well. So that was one of the stranger stories and moments that have happened in my recording engineering career right there. So a moment when I thought all my work is finally starting to pay off. Well, very recently, actually, when me and JT went up as the Bash Brothers and won this iStandard Producers competition as a team. And just the love we got from people, and just major producers that I look up to, Ill Mind and Justice League, and these guys like actually genuinely showing love at what we're doing, you know? And just to hear it from someone like that who I look up to and strive to make music like them, to kind of hear that they appreciated what we were doing was a huge moment. Just kind of let me know I was on the right track.
I got the red light coming by feeling so